What's going on, guys? It's Leo Biaz with CowbellKingdom.com, and my special guest today is Moe Golshani, head coach of Manogue Basketball in Reno, Nevada. Not Nevada, Nevada. Mo, just talk about your experience being a head coach and the full-time GM at Reno Dodge.
It's great, man. I really enjoy working with young adults, trying to develop them basketball-wise, and as far as my job goes, I love it. I wouldn't switch it for anything else in the world. I got in the car business when I was 16. I was washing cars and, became a salesperson and worked my way up. And I'm excited about Manogue Basketball, to be honest with you. We're actually coming to Sacramento December 7th, 8th, and 9th, or 8th, 9th, and 10th for the Folsom High School tournament. So I expect to see you there, Leo.
Absolutely. What can you tell me about this year's team? Do you expect playoffs, or is it a rebuilding team, or?
Well, Nevada's a little different than California, because I used to coach here at Mariloma High School as well. Nevada's a little different. It's a very small state as far as high school goes. So if we don't make the playoffs, it'll be a huge disappointment. We expect to make the playoffs, and we're hoping to make some serious noise in the playoffs. We're young. We have six sophomores on varsity and only four seniors, I apologize. So we're very young, but we're talented, and we're long, and we're lengthy, and we get up and down the floor, play a high-tempo style of basketball, and defensively we trap out of man-to-man, zone, half-court.
George Karl type?
A little better execution. You know why? Because our players don't get paid, so they actually hustle.
Is there any player, any of the seniors being recruited right now?
I do. I have two guys. I would rather not say who's looking at them. There's some local Northern California schools looking at two of my guys. I will give you their names so you can find them on Max Preps or whatnot. It's Aiden Cantwell and Brevin Bensuelo.
Okay. Now let's move on to some Kings basketball. I know you've been a huge fan your entire life. I read that, Robert Horry's shot was one of the worst moments of your life. But talk to me about this year's team and what you expect.
Well, to be honest with you, we're now, 10, 12 games into the season, and I'm very disappointed with what we've seen so far. Man, I want to bite my tongue because I love the Kings so much. But realistically, just as a fan, not as a coach, as a fan, I don't see the effort that we were told Coach Yeager was going to bring on the defensive end. The first couple of games, it was there. And then it seems like there's certain players that just don't put 100% on both ends. And when the guy that's supposed to be your leader has it's tough, man. We have a great individual player in DeMarcus Cousins, and it's really, really tough when you can't build around the guy who's been here for the last 6 years.
Is there anything that you've seen from Dave Yeager, from a scheme standpoint, that you don't agree with, that should be something else as far as, matching up with his actual personnel?
Well, he seems to think that going big isn't working for him. I honestly see the problem still being at the defensive end. If I'm not mistaken, you would know better than I would. Last year, we gave up the most three-pointers made and attempted, I believe, in the NBA. And it seems like we're back to the same deal, man. I mean, we had a 20-point lead, almost, 19, 18, 20-point lead against the Lakers, and we gave it back. At some point, as a coach myself, my level is so different than Coach Yeager's. I'm by no means comparing what we do at the high school level to what Coach Yeager does. However, at some point, you got to take responsibility as a coach and say it's on me. 20-point leads are hard to blow. You know what I mean? And we've managed to do it. The offensive schemes, I actually like it. I think pulling DeMarcus out to the elbow area and getting all the little back cuts and the things they're doing are working great. Obviously, you can see it in DeMarcus's individual numbers. However, it hasn't resulted in wins. And I don't know. I mean, I think if you ask DeMarcus, he would give up 4 or 5 points a night to be on a winning team. I don't know 100%, but I believe my statement would be accurate for anybody that's got pride in playing in the NBA. You want to win. It's great to be an all-star, put up 30 points a night, but ask Carmelo Anthony. It's not very fun when you're losing year in and year out, man.
You talk about defense, and there's a player on this roster that has really taken a step backwards, in my opinion, which is Willie Cauley-Stein. What have you seen from him this year that he's not bringing in as far as effort. You know, because last year he was bringing in effort and hustle, but he wasn't getting playing time. This year, it just seemed like he's lost.
That's so funny because last night we had a similar conversation with some friends at dinner. I don't know, man. I think a lot of it has to do with just lack of confidence. And unfortunately, it's hard to build that confidence if you're not on the floor. And his minutes, in my opinion, have been limited this year compared to the last year. Last year, when he was on the floor, you knew he was there. Hands on loose balls, he's getting rebounds, he's got follow-up dunks. This year, he's kind of lost in the mix. I wish he would have been a starter over Koufos, because the style of basketball that we're looking to play up and down the floor, he would be a better fit than Koufos. But, Coach Yeager has a lot of ties to Koufos, so maybe that has something to do with it.
One last question. Is there a player this season that has impressed you?
Matt Barnes. I'm very, very impressed. Originally, I thought to myself, why bring in a guy who's my age?
Me too.
but honestly, hands down, if I had to pick an MVP for the Sacramento Kings, he would be our MVP this year. He's a vocal leader. He does all the little things. He does the things that none of the other guys on the team do. Whether it be an illegal screen that draws a foul, but it gets the point across for everybody else to step their game up. He's been a pleasant surprise as far as I'm concerned. Now I know why I didn't like him when he was on other teams. You know what I mean? Because he's been a huge help for us.
And one last thing, I want to know who's your favorite player and your favorite player.
On the Sacramento Kings?
Yeah.
Rudy
Gay. And for you?
Well, she calls him Rowdy Rudy because of a show, but I like DeMarcus Cousins personally.
There it is, guys. DeMarcus Cousins, Rudy Gay. You cannot go wrong. And, of course, follow this guy at Manogue High School Basketball. I've heard he's a good coach. I have to go out and watch him.
We'll see. I'll see you at Folsom High School, December 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever it is.
Thanks, guys.